I go love you one day.
It's Young John, the wicked producer.
Boss give me my heart. No, no. Ja, 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 ja. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ja, yeah, boy. See. Oh, share more that I love you, baby. Oh, share more that I'm always there for you, baby. Shout more, more, more. Let them know say somebody there. Let them know say somebody there. When they come around, baby, always let them know say somebody there. Yeah. I know I did confuse you cause I talk too much. I'm so proud to tell my people I love you, baby. Ejamiko, shati mama. Oh, yeah, let them know, say. Somebody there. Let them know, say, somebody there. Yeah. When they come around, baby, always let them know, say, somebody there, yeah. All I'm again, you supposed know, say I did for you. My sheperu, my foe, I there with you. And if them tell you, say I go run away, beat your chest and tell them, say la la, say la. Nobody there, I say nobody there. When money no there, nobody there. Now only you there. I can't get no one to express my love for you. I know too fine, but I get confidence. Say no, Michael Jackson can take my girl. Shati mama. Oh, yeah, let them know, say. Somebody there. Yeah, let them know, say, somebody there. Yeah. When they come around, baby, always let them know, say, somebody there, yeah. Go tell everybody. Tell everybody. Go tell everybody.
It's Silas, the marvelous producer.
Well, today I miss our big uncle. I miss him very much.
His mixes.
Yeah.
Toko Jacqueline was amazing on the Notify.
Nothing elevates.
Now I think that thing needs to be recorded, even if it's just for Boomba's sake. Stop looking at me like that.
I ain't say none.
If it's just for Boomba's sake alone.
I ain't say none.
So, for everybody that's been watching or listening to us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boom Bar on Boom Radio NG, coming live from Lagos State.
All right.
And my name is Oladolupo.
You know.
The one and only. That's it.
That is rebooted version of Oladolupo.
It's just Oladolupo. That's it. That's it.
You know, say you would know when Dolupo is in a good mood.
Today is a special day.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
because
today
we're celebrating.
We are celebration, and you can see on top of the table. We have
for people that are not at the bar, you are missing.
You are missing if you are not here at the bar.
You have no idea.
You can see everything on the table is
and for people that know and people that do not know.
Yes.
Today
Yo, wa, yo,
Today,
yo.
drum rolls please.
Muna kiɗa.
What's that?
I do interpretation of the what you are saying.
So
Muna
drum
kiɗa.
roll is now that long.
Yeah, muna kiɗa.
Okay.
Yes, muna kiɗa.
Anyway, today is SR's birthday.
Okay, wai duka anya shine anya.
Aboki,
Yau ne
this is a lot
ana
of
yin bikin
syllables.
SR.
Aboki, this is a lot of syllables.
But
A lot of
I can help you
syllables.
with a little bit of,
Yes.
ni hao.
No, we're good.
Yes,
We're good.
that's why I be
Something
Chinchong.
went down. What happened?
What?
I hope we were not attacked.
That
The volume went down.
maybe it's your own ear. You sure you not check your ear? There's nothing wrong with it. It's your own ear.
So,
Anyway, happy birthday to SR. I think we should sing.
Happy birthday. to
Happy
you.
birthday to you.
happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday
you.
to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
to
happy
you.
birthday,
Happy birthday.
happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Yeah, let us do Kilenga of the Gilasi.
Yeah.
Kilinga.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ready, cheers.
Yo, what,
to
cheers.
long life. Your cup, please.
Yes, cheers.
Thank you.
You can see we are doing cheers for
Yep.
SR. And the table too is doing tables when we are doing cheers.
What? Aboki, I told you to stop saying these things.
This you said cheers and this on the
Chairs,
table.
chairs, not chairs.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yo,
We're not even going to do this this afternoon.
So-
We're definitely not going to do this. So, in the mood of celebration, yes, he said it was. Yes, I was actually very happy.
So in the
That is
where
SR's birthday.
a cikin mudum
See, this
murna.
cake.
Akwai
That's a
keki,
cake.
akwai
This
keki,
pizza. This drink.
akwai
What else do you
freezer,
have?
akwai freezer.
What's freezer?
This one you call now
Pizza.
freezer.
Freezer. How is pizza freezer? How? Why does Aboki do these things?
Yeah, you call it. I use my harshe to for announcement of
Aboki,
it.
Aboki, I told you. When you want to use your heritage to pronounce your own words. When
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
about
the one you
English,
say, freezer.
pronounce it like English.
It's
Oh,
a
God.
freezer.
Oh,
This
God,
one
I
is
give up.
keki. So
Cake.
keki.
Cake.
Because there is e inside of the K.
Oh, God.
Keki.
We're not even doing this.
Yo,
this
wow.
afternoon. I'm not going to be doing this afternoon. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody listening to us from or watching us or wherever it is that you are seeing us from or however you are seeing this. And I think we should get into today's gist.
Because
There's plenty gist. There's actually plenty gist. There's a few comments, but maybe when they load, I would get to it. But first thing on the gist is a U.S. general has said, General Jeffrey Harrigan of the United States Africa Command has said that the American government would help President Muhammadu Buhari's regime tackle bandits and Boko Haram terrorists by providing training to the Nigerian Air Force personnel. This was said when there was the official induction of the 829 Super Tucano fighter jets into the Nigerian Air Force operations.
That's some welcome news for me.
It's a welcome news.
I'm not a security expert or anything, but it's a welcome news because this battle or fight against insurgency has continued and has carried on for too long. And at some point, people started saying that the US was not going to get involved, they didn't care. But look at this statement. This negates everything because I don't want us to politicize security. You might be APC, you might be PDP, YPP, or whatever PP you are. When it comes to matters of security and insurgency, I don't think we should politicize it. So this is a welcome development by the U.S. government saying that they're going to throw their weight behind the Nigerian Air Force. And with the arrival of the, I think there are 6 of them.
There's 6 of them.
There's 6 more
coming.
that are going to come.
Yes.
And the gunships that they just got and the other things. This now positions the Nigerian Air Force as the strongest in
the Nigerian
in Africa, minus Northern Africa. What's it called now? There's a way it's called Oh man, Shala Rogers, what's wrong with you? Anyways, bottom line is that apart from Egypt and maybe Tunisia also, we have the strongest air force now. In South Africa included, we're better than them now with the air strength that we have. You know, so this shows government's resolve. You get, but I hope that government can also do the same thing in every aspect of our lives. You know, the same way they've been able to upgrade the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. They should upgrade the Nigerian Police Force too.
Yeah.
The same way the NSC, DC, and the other paramilitary forces. Then now extend it to health. You know, because why are doctors on strike?
Yeah, all that.
Why are doctors being owed 6 months' salary? You know, basically, Nigerians just want their government to work.
Exactly.
Look, at some point, you'll find out that you don't really care the tribe of a president if he's delivering.
If he's delivering,
You
exactly.
don't care what religion he practices if he's
As long
delivering.
as it's working.
So Nigerians don't want too much. They just want the basic things.
We want a system that is workable.
Exactly. That is working.
But
exactly.
I mean, my own of something, it might be a little bit of looking like a joke, but I want to believe that the American incursion in
Sub-Saharan Africa. That's what I wanted to say earlier.
Yeah, so Sahara, Sahara, Africa.
Correct.
Yeah, so now I also pray that
that wasn't correct.
Saharan, yes, Sub-Saharan Africa.
Sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah, so now if you look at it,
How was that correct?
see what is happening in the Kabul.
Yeah.
You know, the American people have been there. They have their command there. They have over 16,000 military personnel in that country.
Yeah.
And today, see what has happened. The Taliban have taken over. I hope that our own case will not.
No, I don't.
See,
I don't think we're there.
Let me tell you
I think we should
just
calm down with.
I like what he has done.
So,
a lot of people have said this. A lot of Nigerians have looked at the Afghanistan example. But let's be honest with ourselves, right? Look at it this way. America spent about 20 years in Afghanistan.
Yes.
Training the Afghan army and empowering them and giving them equipment. Giving them free. In the case of Nigeria, Nigeria is buying,
equipping themselves,
and equipping our own armed forces. Not only that, we have fought this battle all by ourselves with the assistance of our neighbors, not with the assistance of US forces or anything. You're talking about 16,000 forces in Afghan. If we had 5,000 Marines in Nigeria,
Sholaro, just 5,000 is too much.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what he's saying. That if you have 5,000 Marines,
this is why you must even respect your own army now. Every Nigerian should listen to what I'm saying. It's time for you to respect your army, air force, and navy. That without that number of people, the Nigerian army has stood
without
against
all that
insurgencies. Now, this is why I'm saying this. How long did it take for the announcement that America was pulling? They have not even pulled out yet. They said they were pulling out, and under 48 hours, the Afghani government crashed.
No, but
that is after 20 years of occupation and 16,000 Marines.
They actually
pulled out. They've been drawing down, we know. But they still have presence there.
About 2,000 plus of them.
That's what I'm saying. Do we have 2,000 in Nigeria?
Do we even have it? We don't.
So, this is where you draw the parallel and draw the line. That the Nigerian army, without any external forces,
we have been able to curtail.
We have stood our ground and fought this battle for so long. What we need to do is to commend them. That now we understand that we have a strong army. Because 48 hours after America pulled out officially, and with barely 2,000 troops still left behind, the Taliban took over. As against a Nigeria that over 11 years now, we have fought a war. We started with Boko. People don't understand. It has mutated. ISIS, ISWAP, everything.
Yeah.
And the Nigerian army is still standing. They did not run. Even the time when the government was not buying equipment for them.
They were still
even the
standing,
time that the money was being diverted into politics. They are still there, still giving their lives. So for me, on a day like this, I like that you brought the Taliban example.
Yes.
But let's look at how strong our army has been.
Army has been.
And the Air Force and Navy too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that
with the civilian joint task force,
and
we must give them kudos.
In that manner, I give you kudu and kudu wada to
What?
all of the Nigerian
Kudos.
yeah, kudus and
Kudos.
Kudos.
kudas.
Oh,
Yeah, kudas.
Oh, we're not doing this. Please move
So
on.
I give it to all the Nigerian military personnel, whether you are Air Force, Army, Navy, or everything, even the inclusion of the civilian task force.
Yeah.
You understand? All these people, there's a particular guy I am following on Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
Remember that Twitter is banned.
No,
It's not banned though.
It's not a.
It's not banned.
Yes.
Twitter is not banned. The government, I can show you where even the Minister of Justice said Twitter is not banned.
It's just a suspension
Of their own business with Twitter.
with the Twitter.
They can't stop us from Twitter.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, and this guy is in the forefront of the civilian joint task force in the fight against Boko Haram. Each time he posts, I see a lot of effort of all of these
Of
people.
all these people. Please
And
can
I
I have
think-
cake?
Yeah,
That red one.
Which red or
No,
brown?
the red one.
Okay, this one.
Red velvet.
The red one.
Okay, red.
Yes, red.
Okay.
Thank you. So anyway, continue what
So
you're
I
saying.
think we should give it to the Nigerian military. They are really trying.
I think they're doing.
Even in the midst of lack of equipment before the war. Yes, sir. You still see them. They are advancing,
still there.
advancing. Yes, sir.
We hope that
and
they
pushing
just,
them back.
finally get this done and get it done once and for all.
I
And
think this is the time.
This is time to do that. And finally, before we go, we have a lot of comments actually. And Larry Adegbite says, "Happy birthday to you." Aji Bade Taiwo says, "Jobs well done." Lawrence Meli Fonwu, I'm not sure how to
Okay,
pronounce that.
Emily phone, yeah.
Says, "Happy birthday, bro. Wish you God's grace and blessings.
Thanks, bro.
Always in good health of mind and body in the mighty name of Jesus."
Amen.
And Ajibade Taiwo says, "Best wishes." And Oluwafemi Adefeso says, "Happy birthday, Ogashala Rogers. You are an
Yes, sir.
inspiration." Charles Okolawon says, "Abundance of grace and mercies on your birthday."
Thank you, sir.
Bravo.
Thank you, sir.
And so I think we should move on. We'll take more comments later. As now talking about security, a lawyer has approached a court in Lagos, the Lagos High Court, that the DSS should stop using the name DSS, as according to the law they are called the State Security Service and not Department of State Service, without an amendment of the law that puts them into that empowers them. That's first. Then he's also talking about how we got this report from Channels TV website where they had also said this particular Lagos-based lawyer, Tope Alabi, has actually
Okay.
Don't be talking about me when they sing.
Okay,
No.
that's one where I say I know do me. I say. it's
we're not doing that.
something.
We're not doing that. I have
Okay.
nothing to say to that.
This one a lawyer.
This one is a lawyer. They also said that the law needs to determine to also stop the DSS or the SSS in which case to stop arresting and detaining Nigerians without a court order and invading people's homes. This person even gave examples of October 8, 2016, where the SSS invaded George's home, August 2, 2019, where they invaded Omoyele Showore's home, and in July 2021, where they invaded Sunday Igboho's home. Happy birthday, everybody. Come and join me with the cake. Oh my God. It's wonderful.
You're not serious.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'd like to say thank you to the lawyer Tope Alabi, and for taking this bold step. We're a nation of laws. We're a country of laws, and you know that any country in the world that there's no structures, there's no law, there's bound to be chaos. Now, so the DSS or the SSS is founded by an act of law.
Yeah.
If there's going to be an amendment to their nomenclature, I think it has to be legal. Except they're going to tell us otherwise. And really and truly, maybe all the DSS need to do now is to announce when this was done, or maybe the Minister for the Interior, or the Minister for Information, or the Minister for Justice would respond and say, "Oh, this was done by an act of law, blah blah blah." It was probably not even done under this administration.
Yeah.
What probably was done. So we need to know. So I like what this lawyer has done. It reminds me of the great Gani Fawemi. He would question every single thing. People didn't understand what Gani was doing, but it was setting precedents everywhere along the line. So you'll find that whenever there is an issue, you'll be able to quote that there was a case, Gani Fawemi versus XYZ, and this is the decision of the Supreme Court or the High Court, or whatever court that the case was, magistrate or wherever the case was taken to. So in this case, I am 100% behind this lawyer, Tope Alabi. Again, I said we're a nation of laws. If we are a nation of laws, and the DSS really feels that they have a strong case against someone, they know the right thing to do. They have a legal department. They're supposed to get a legal backing from the law.
So are we saying that it's actually you have to actually have a court order?
You must have one before you go raiding people or arresting people.
Exactly.
You must.
Amande,
It's compulsory.
it is compulsory, but at times you also have to look at the magnitude of the case against the state.
There are cases where, in the case of terrorism and other federal offenses, they might act first, but they still need a law. Like, for instance, when they arrested Showore, they actually had to go to court to hold him for as long as they did. At some point, they had to let him go. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we are a nation of laws. The DSS or SSS understand this thing too. So, but if people keep quiet all the time, we would degenerate to a state of chaos and a lot of hiki haga and brouhaha. You understand?
Okay.
You understand?
I'm wondering what's happening here.
So, but on a real to real, I think that I would really like to follow this kind of court case to find out where we're going with it, because without laws, there's chaos.
And if you remember, some of these are foreign movies that we used to watch where we see FBI going to raid people's home. You understand?
Yeah.
They would have followed that person's precedents, and they know that they have a very strong case against the person, and taking it from the security angle, they will act. And I also want to believe that in the case of Nigeria, it is the same thing. You understand? Because security is security anywhere in the world. If we toy with security lapses will, fall back on us. You understand? And I think for the DSS, sometimes I will say for them, you understand, it is my opinion, and I think that in some cases, if they have a very strong case, they might not even need to go to, you understand, they will have to use their discretion.
But if we also look at it from that angle, if according to the law, you're supposed to get a court order, and you did not, isn't that also, what's the word? Aren't you putting a dent in your case? Because by the time that case goes to court, that person, those are loopholes, those are lapses that people could actually get their cases thrown out of court.
It has happened now.
It has
Of
happened.
technicality reasons, and so why can't we just do things by the book?
Why is Shore free?
He's not free, he's on bail.
He is free. He's free.
And of course, the recent case of the 8 Igbo host people, too, if you follow the court proceeding, you discover
they've been
that,
released. They've been released.
You discover that the DSS do not have a very strong case to go and post. You understand?
But if they had obtained
legal permission,
Court order,
it will be easy for the judge that granted them the leeway to go and arrest to say, because you need to hold these people while you are investigating, they are a flight risk. We all understand that. So 90 days, which is renewable. You get? It's time we really played up the laws and understand that without laws, we're going to degenerate to chaos.
And that is where we always say that the overzealousness of a lot of people in security apparatus sometimes will jeopardize the case that they would have been able to.
It happens all the
you
time.
understand? So that is it.
All the time.
And so moving on from that, you're talking about laws. The governor of Ondo State, Governor Akeredolu, is set to sign the anti-open grazing bill today, which we know is a little bit against the plans of the president, but looks like it's not wavering, as it has been announced that the bill has been sent to him and that he's planning to sign this anti-open grazing bill into law today, the 31st of August 2021. This is as said or as reported by the Independent.
Okay, Aboki is not talking, so let me go first again.
Okay.
For me, it is consistent with everything that Governor Akeredolu of Ondo has said and done. From the time when they had issues with herdsmen in Ondo, and he talked about
the forest.
He talked about how the particular forest was supposed to be a reserve. It was not meant to be for grazing.
Grazing, yeah.
To Amotekun, to the Southwest Governors Forum,
Yeah.
to the Southern Governors Forum. His position as the leader and all of that has been consistent. You know, and everything that they have decided there, he has always enacted. Basically, I'm sure it's just following the same script, making people understand that you need to practice what you preach.
That's yeah.
In the case of Ondo, it is just one of the many 20-something states.
I think there's 17
Oh,
southern states. There's 17 southern states. There are 19 northern states.
Yeah, so there's supposed to be some other states in the north that are actually also against the open grazing. You'll be shocked.
Example like Benue
Benue is
State.
against it.
Even Plateau State is also.
You get.
Yeah.
So
Plateau State, yeah.
so
but
we're
Benue State-
expecting that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah.
However, I feel that Mr. President has been briefed about the old laws when it concerns the grazing route, or what's that thing called again?
Yes, grazing routes.
But the thing I think Mr. President needs to do is his legal team need to go back and realize that times have changed and things have
Well,
changed.
we don't. Well, it's 2021.
You get
Those
and
things shouldn't still
I
be
also
happening.
remember that the vice president had mentioned that moving cattle the way it's been done now is even counterproductive
See,
Very
for
well.
for the cattle itself. That research has proven that cattle that are raised on ranches are more productive when it comes to milk production, when it comes to meat production and everything. So we need to start understanding this, that we can't continue the same way. In this area where we live, on the border of Lagos and Ogun State, every day we encounter traffic in certain parts of our community when
Just
cattle
because.
is being taken from one end of the road to the other.
Example, today when I was coming at exactly a few meters away from the Kobakwe bus stop, you understand? Anybody who lives around Ogun State, we know. Before Kobakwe bus stop, some herders were moving their cattle from one side of the road to the other, and all the vehicles coming from Ogun State and coming from Lagos State into Abeokuta had to stop.
Yeah.
You understand? In this age and time, it is not proper. You understand? At that instance, taking a look at the security situation in our country, a lot of people don't want to wait on the express. They want to fire on to reach their destination.
Oh, yeah, because
freely.
everybody's on the clock.
You understand?
Look, let's be honest with ourselves. I keep saying it on this table every time. We remember the matter of how we had the Obudu Cattle Ranch
Oh, wow.
and other cattle ranches, and they're not in the north. They're all based in the south. We need to revisit that. Again, when it comes to food security, I don't like the concept of people using food as a tool.
To yeah.
You know,
I
there
agree
was a
with you.
time a certain organization or group that called themselves onion sellers or whatever said they were not going to supply onion to the south. We all know how that worked out for them. Even the meat sellers had done it at some point, or the cattle rearers had done it. We don't need that. Then again, to forestall that from happening, people in the north need to plant what they can and groom what they can locally. Same for people in the south. That way, food security would have nothing to do with politics, will have nothing to do with religion, will have nothing to do with tribe or creed. It will just be that as human beings, we know what is right and we are going for what is right.
it's sad, but let's see if he will finally sign it into law. I hope he does. I also hope that every other southern state, or as many other northern states too, everybody realizes that we're in 2021, we're in the 21st century. Yeah, those things shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't even be having a discussion about it. That's it for me generally. And let's move on to something else quickly. Let's talk about health. And I know that there's a lot of talk about COVID. There's a third wave of COVID. There's the Delta variant, and it's ravaging. There's announcements of states beginning vaccinations here and there, back and forth. But before I get to that, there's also something else that a lot of people are not paying attention to, and is cholera. Cholera is really at a point where, if they're not careful, it's almost like as if I saw something last week where a doctor had said that the way it's going, the rate at which cholera is killing more people than the amount of people that COVID is killing.
Is killing. Well, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Let's start from somewhere. What is cholera?
Cholera really, you know what? Let me Google it. But little that I know about cholera is a waterborne disease.
Exactly.
Cholera is a waterborne disease. It's mainly caused by dirty water, ingesting dirty water or dirty food. Food that is not let me say this. Cholera is an acute diarrheal illness caused by the infection of the intestine with a toxigenic bacterium. Basically, it says about 95,000 deaths occur around the world each year. About 95,000 people die from cholera every year. Cholera is usually found in water, in foods that have been contaminated by feces from a person that has been infected with the cholera bacteria.
So, the reason why I did that is not because we don't know what cholera is. But at times we assume we know exactly in its entirety. But now you've been able to shed a lot of light on it. Waterborne, infected.
Yeah, it's actually passed through. The way it's communicable through feces. But the easiest way is, all these villages that is the same place they poop, that's where they wash clothes, it's the same water they have their bathing, it's the same water they drink, all that. That is really how, for you to see a major outbreak of cholera, the people in that place, when you look very well, they have water issues, clean water issues. So that's basically what cholera is.
Reason why I brought that up is that we all know that the basic necessities of life that we require as a people, as a nation, things like food, water, shelter, clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making any sense here.
Yeah, food,
Plenty,
clothing,
yes.
shelter. Yeah, that's.
It's back on government. It's back to them that
It's people's rights.
they have the mandate, they have the funds, they have the wherewithal. How much of clean water are they providing? How much of clean water are they providing for the people? It will be difficult for the people in the villages and even in the city to have pipe-borne water, clean pipe, and still say they're going to the stream. It will be very difficult. But how do you blame them? For instance, if your community lives by a river bank or a stream, you have your designated wash points. I see how organized. I've stayed in a village before, and I saw how organized they were. There's a point where people wash clothes. But it's usually after the point where people have their baths or where they fetch water. So they have the part where they fetch water. They go with their basins, they clear, and they scoop water and take away. Yeah. Then after that, they have the wash areas, right? You wash your clothes or have your bath. Now, for that community, it's a good system, right? You forget that there's another community further down, miles after them, that will not get that wastewater. That are trying to practice what you think you're practicing. So in your mind, you're getting clean water at this point.
You're not even sure where that water is coming
but
from.
But where is the water coming from? But if and only if these natural resources are channeled and processed, cholera shouldn't be killing people. A lot of things should actually be a thing of the past.
It's something that we can say is avoidable.
Yes, very avoidable.
It is avoidable.
Yes.
It shouldn't be killing people.
And that now takes me to the point whereby you see a lot of our members of House of Representatives who get constituency allowances and what have you. A lot of them will go and sink a borehole and some water points that is not sustainable. Within a period of 1 year, I can give an example in Ogun State because I have worked with community schools where these boreholes have been sunk, and today a lot of them are not working.
Yeah.
You understand? So government, and apart from that, it is also a painful thing and a shameful thing for me to realize that even World Bank has sponsored so many water projects in states.
And nothing is
happening today in Ogun State during the time of Oshoba transiting power to Benga Daniel. Billions and billions of naira were awarded for water project to provide water for the Abeokuta Metropolis. Today, go to Abeokuta, water is not flowing. You can imagine the number of years that I've spoken. And just recently, because during the reconstruction of roads in Abeokuta, a lot of these pipes were damaged, and I was shocked when I saw an open body articulated truck moving all of the damaged pipes, massive pipe, not the smaller ones, moving it out of Abeokuta. You understand? And the state government this current governor has been promising right from the day he was sworn in that he is going to make sure that water flow back on the tap of people in Abeokuta until date. Imagine if Abeokuta, the state capital, doesn't have water, what would happen in Ijebu-Ode or in the Yewa axis? Yes, and it's a pitiable condition.
Yeah.
And now a lot of people do not know that sinking borehole is as well as dangerous as anything.
Yeah.
Because you are burrowing into the soil, and at the end
if you don't get to proper water.
No,
not even that.
It even has implications.
Yes, landslide will yes.
Sinkholes.
Yes.
It has future implications.
Yes.
So everybody shouldn't be sinking borehole. That's why you actually need water works.
Yes.
Channel water. I like decentralization a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
But in the area of water, it has to be better organized so that it's not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that is sinking the borehole.
Take for example,
remember what happened in Abuja?
Yes.
With the explosions and everything, and it was actually linked to the fact that a lot of people had some boreholes in that particular neighborhood.
It happened in my place when I was growing up in Kaduna. We actually saw the house, is one-story building, go down. And the fire service people had to come from the rooftop of the first floor to begin to rescue people. You understand? And it's as a result of the fact that there is a mining site around there. You understand?
So it basically weakens the
you understand? So all of these things are things that we must consider. Take it for example here, this is Isheri Co, and there is a river. Why can't we have a water plant here?
Water works.
Yes, sir. Water works here. That is decentralizing from the one at Adura.
Yeah.
You understand? Or the one at Abeokuta. You understand?
And the most popular one is
Iju Water Works. You understand? And I don't know.
Okay, so we hope that now it's obvious that especially this is ravaging a lot in the north. As of today, there was talks, the NCDC had released that about 63 people have died in about 1 week from cholera. For example, Borno State had come up that since this cholera outbreak has started, 43 people have died, and they have had about 500 and 59 suspected cases of the cholera infection. So the rate of fatality is a lot.
It's scary.
It is scary, and it's also what is teaching everybody. Now that we know that it's on the increase, we also, even in the south, and you think that is happening a lot in North, Katsina, Borno State, Benue, it's happening a lot. We also need to be careful. We, even in the south, you need to be sure what kind of water you're drinking, how you're cooking. Even now, getting food outside is getting more dangerous.
Now, apart from that, another thing is that we also need expertise. I will tell you, I lost a friend of mine, late Idowu Amore, a wonderful playwright. You understand? And he was taken to a federal government hospital in Abeokuta, and they could not detect that he was suffering from cholera. And they were treating malaria fever. And that was how Idowu Amore passed on, and he died.
How? Because the symptoms are not even the same thing.
But this was what they told us, that is a malaria. It was after what is it called? Is it Kosimoten? What are they calling it? That because, they discovered that it was cholera.
The major thing with cholera is vomiting and stooling.
Yes, they said that the malaria is
there is no symptom of malaria that is
typhoid fever.
Typhoid is not malaria. It has some symptoms of malaria, but it's not. So that's what I'm saying, that the least you could even do is treat cholera. But how would you say that someone that is vomiting, and how? So, at the end of the day, I think that they say prevention is better than cure. We just need to be careful at the end of the day. Be careful what you drink, what you ingest. That's basically how cholera gets into the body. And now still talking about health.
Let us also disabuse the mind of so many people. So many people today believe that it is the mice and not the dirty water that they consume that causes cholera.
No, let's now that you even talked about mice. For mice getting into your house, I don't know if it is for other people, I don't know. But for me, generally, I personally think mice getting into your house is as a result of dirt. Your surroundings have to be dirty for mice or rats or what's it called to be around. So that also causes something. So if you have rats and you think that, I'm not saying that rats are the ones that cause it, but even if you have rats, you need to be careful of your surroundings.
I think rats are linked to Lassa fever,
yeah,
more than any other thing. But what you said and what you've said is correct. It's our job to educate and enlighten people. There are a lot of myths and untruths, a lot of things that we were even fed with before we know. Oh, for instance, I'm digressing just to support what you
go
said.
ahead, please.
There's something we call in local parlance, jedi. And jedi, people will tell you that it's because you eat too much sugar.
Too much sugar, yeah.
Or sugary things. I was an adult when I found out that it had nothing. Oh, they call it pile. There was a time they call it pile.
It is pile.
In fact, we had local doctors. I don't know if you guys remember. You walk past and you see a drawing, artistic impression of someone with pile. And they would say, Dr. Ogokoro or Dr. Ogidiga can cure pile, can cure this, can cure that. You're riding in a public bus. People are talking about how this particular tablet can cure pile. Do you get what I'm saying? We were told that pile was all of these things, right? Jedi is pile is Abi. Only for me to find out that you could actually control and cure that thing even without drugs.
Oh yeah.
Even without drugs. Do you know that they were cutting it at some point?
Yeah.
Locally.
Ew.
Yes, and people would die. Some people would die because of loss of blood. This happened. You can ask people around.
Okay.
Down to the fact that people didn't have the right information. You probably need to change your diet. It had nothing to do with sugar consumption. It had nothing to do with it being cut away. And it had nothing to do with all those herbs that you were taking.
Gaskiya.
What you needed was basically a change in diet. Am I right? Am I making
Yeah,
sense?
yeah. You know,
But this is
there was
why
even a
I'm
few
happy that
reports
Roland or
a few years ago
Aboki did what he did.
that
Sorry, bro.
had come up with that sitting in the toilet for too long
Yeah,
could actually cause pile.
yeah. And
The
again,
habit of us sitting and reading our books in the
Let-
toilet.
I confess.
Yes, which
I
you know why?
confess.
You know why? And it made sense because once you see our bodies, there's a way their bodies have sensations. Yeah, when you are sitting in toilet, there is a signal that is sent to your brain that you're supposed to either pee or you're supposed to pass out feces. So even if you are not, or if you are done and you are not standing up, you are invariably still stimulating that part of your body. And you're forcing it to do, so you can actually cause yourself, you can actually enjoy yourself from something you think.
I confess, when I was way younger, the toilet was a good place for me to read. And I know a lot of people did it too. And it was wrong.
It was actually wrong. It was wrong. Aboki, you wanted to say
No,
something?
let us move on. Let
Okay,
us move on.
so still talking about health, yeah? And now let's come back to COVID-19, something that everybody knows. First things first. The Edo and Ondo state governments have announced restrictions regarding some public places that those who have not taken the COVID-19 vaccine cannot have access to. Edo State is going as far as churches and mosques and all that. The deputy governor had said that the government may apply the basic rule of law against such people because they're endangering the lives of other people. He said the Presidential Steering Committee at the Federal Ministry of Health is exploring ways of making vaccines more available to all Nigerians, including federal civil servants and corporate entities. Once these vaccines have been made equitably available to all Nigerians, then we need to have a frank discussion about justice, fairness, and liberty that exists around vaccine hesitancy. If some individuals, I quote, this is Punch newspaper that have written this, and I said that if some individuals refuse to take the vaccine, hence endangering the lives of those who have or those who could not have due to medical exemptions, then we have to apply the basic rule of law, which stipulates that your human right stops where mine begins.
Well, you know, as much as I like the fact that Edo State especially is really doing a lot in the area of COVID-19 awareness.
Yeah, so
And,
just one more sentence. So
okay.
he says that, so you have a right to refuse vaccines, all right, but you do not have a right to endanger the health of others.
All right. So I like what they said, and to me, I think it's just the right thing for all of us to do.
Oh yeah.
However, they seem to have failed in the area of trying to make it a law or trying to enforce it. You get make it compulsory. You get. I think we don't understand how the world works. We will all never be on the same page.
We never. Before you even get to that point, my own question is, I think before we even get to the point of trying to prosecute people of taking the COVID vaccine or not, let's first sort the issue of making it available for everybody. After you have made it available, and we know that some people
It's readily available.
yeah, for
There's no
everybody,
excuses
there's
now.
no excuses. Then you can come up with this conversation.
Yeah, but they seem to even believe now. The state government seems to, and I'm sure they have their facts, that even the one that is available, people are not going to get it. You understand? People are actually shying away from getting it, and we need the head humility, whereby there are more people who have received the vaccines in a large cluster, so that it reduces the risk of spreading. But we have not even if with the Moderna one that they got now is 4 million, right?
Yeah.
AstraZeneca was 4 million. The other ones that they got in between were not even up to 1 million. So let's just say collectively Nigeria probably has 10 million vaccines. In a country
So-
that is almost 150
about 200 million.
200 million people. That's where our problem lies. Like even the one that's available, there's this passive attitude by Nigerians towards not as aggressive as people, the anti-vaxxers in the UK or in the US who are actually running campaigns and fighting it hard.
Well, you sure we're not going to get to that? Because it
We
seems
might get to
some
that with the
people-
way things are going.
Even the way it is now, I have this article here by SHRM from the United States where they are talking about how the Indiana University has taken their case to the Supreme Court. They are saying because some people do not want to get vaccinated, and the university authority is saying that they want every student, faculties, and everybody that works within the university environment to be
get
fully vaccinated before they can enter the campus.
And talking
And this
about
case has gone to the Supreme Court.
and talking about court cases and COVID, just right now, it has been reported by Premium Times that a federal high court in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, have restrained the Edo State government and its governor from forcing residents of the state to take the COVID-19 vaccine.
That's what I was referring to earlier. That their attempt to make it compulsory has been restricted by law because you can't force.
You can't force people. As much as I don't like it.
It has to be more about.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
sensitization,
I'm fully
education.
vaccinated. Do I think that people that do not take it are not? Honestly, to me, I don't. I think some people are just not well. If you have a problem with it, but you also can't force people to do what they do not want to do. You can't bar people from going out. You as conscious person, as a medically conscious person about COVID, you just need to stay away from people like that as much as possible.
So
That's it for me.
I saw a video of a man in Miami International Airport. I don't know if any of you guys saw that video. Very macho looking guy. Apparently they said he used to be a soldier and all of that, and was prevented from getting on the plane because he refused to wear a mask.
Oh yeah.
And he had a female companion with him who was trying to calm him down. I saw this guy wreak havoc. You know the queue management system, those ropes,
Yeah.
and he threw it at people, threw punches at people. Some guy decked him, he hit the floor. He was just going berserk because all they asked him to do was
Wear a
wear
face
a
mask.
mask. If you don't wear a mask, you can't get on the plane and all of that. When the video ended, apparently it was said that he even physically assaulted his female companion, grabbed her by the hair, dragged her on the floor, all sorts of things were said. He's been arrested and all of that. But when I said to myself, on a flight that's supposed to be intercontinental from the US to the UK, there will be one person, one guy, who insists that he's not going to wear a mask. When every other person, not every other, everybody is wearing a mask, even his companion. So, of course, not everybody will agree. But that someone will go to that extent
Just to make a point. There's a problem somewhere. Except you have like a medical report that is saying that you can't wear a mask.
The face mask, are they comfortable? No.
No, they're not.
Do I like them? No. But please, wear a mask where it is necessary and compulsory.
Completely necessary.
Wash your hands frequently. Carry a sanitizer everywhere you go. Sanitize your surfaces. We do that here on a regular. The door handles, everything. We do it on a regular.
Okay, so now moving back to something that we talked about earlier. Now it is official. The governor of Ondo State has signed the anti-grazing bill into law. And talking about laws also, the Katsina state government as of today has banned the transportation of cattle from the state to any other state in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I think that's good coming from a northern state, especially. So basically, whatever grazing you want to do, you cannot take it out of the state. I think that's where you should even start from. That's where you should start from in the first place.
Yeah, if only we remove our religious and political sentiments when it comes to matters like this, we will achieve a lot.
Yeah, so according to Channels TV, The ban is part of efforts to improve the security in the state. And the order also bans trucks and lorries carrying firewood from the bush and the sale of animals at the various markets. The order prohibited the sale of second-hand motorcycles, carrying of 3 persons on motorcycles, and carrying more than 3 passengers in a tricycle.
I agree. Especially the place where you see 3-4 people on one bike. I think it's a state of madness.
Okay, they also stopped people because of the security challenges. They've also closed a particular road, a Jibia Gorby Barre road, to all motorists, while travelers plying the road to use the alternative road until further notice. There's also the closure of the Kankara Sheme road to all commercial vehicles.
One part of this law in Castina that you're talking about that I don't understand is this ban on sale of second-hand motorcycles.
No. What they're saying is because a lot of those, according to them, a lot of those motorcycles, because of the security situation, they are actually stolen.
I was about to ask you that do they have a case of increase in stolen motorcycles?
Yeah. So all those things with cattle rustling and all that. Now,
yes, that's scary.
There's also the order also limits the sale of fuel of not more than 5,000 naira to motorists
per vehicle. Well, I'll just buy 5,000 in this filling station. Go to the next one to buy 5,000.
Now, it says that in a particular area there are only 2 designated filling stations. And it also reinforces the prohibition of sale of petrol in jerry cans at filling stations.
So if I want to buy petrol inside my generator, how
you will carry it to.
I will carry my.
No, I think that as much as it might be laughable, it's a security issue. So the minute you are buying large quantities of fuel, or where are you taking it to?
Yeah, I think I agree with that measure because in the period when the security investigative people were investigating certain movement, they saw somebody who was producing burodi in large quantity in Kaduna, and he was producing
supplying the kidnappers.
Yes, and he was also using the same vehicle to carry guns and ammunition to the kidnappers. And of course, another case in hand was the case of somebody who is selling medications. He will go to the pharmacy store and buy certain medications and take it to the bandits in the forest. You understand? I think I agree with these security measures because at the long it will help to checkmate a lot of.
You'll be able to notice. Okay, this is what's happening, and this is so yeah. So it looks like Katina is out with a lot of things. And now.
Before you move on.
Yeah, please.
And I won't take time. At least the state government is being proactive.
Yes.
At least the state government is not
doing something.
solely expecting the federal to do everything for them. This is what you expect of every state government. For you to look at local solutions.
What is happening and block some
problems
things
in your.
I agree.
State.
It is about what is called the Okalwa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okalwa is using your brain. Okalwa to provide.
It's Okolo.
Yes.
Okay, finally before we go, I don't know if we could squeeze 1 or 2 stories, but another thing that is ravaging people now. We know we're at where it's the rainy season.
Yeah.
And it's not looking very well.
At its peak.
At its peak. For people in Lagos, it might not be raining as much. For people in places like Oyo State, like Ogun State, it has been recorded that for about 2-3 weeks on end, there has been rain almost every single day.
Today it has rained in Abeokuta today.
I think you only drizzled this morning, and that's all we saw.
It didn't even drizzle, it only
threatened to rain, and that's it. And even without the rain, around this area, we've seen how the water level has risen to a very scary level. Very, very scary level. I'm talking about water levels. 2 communities in Shiroro local government area of Niger State have been reported to have been submerged with not less than about 1,000 households. While about 30 other communities are under a similar threat.
Wow.
The flooding was said to have been caused by the construction of the new multi-billion naira Zungeru hydroelectric dam project,
Wow.
which is the second of such projects cited in the same local government.
Wow. Wow. You know, look, when you're planning this project, it's meant to make life easier for everybody. But do you think of the palliatives and the immediate, like, there should be palliatives because we need to mitigate the immediate effects of construction.
The ecological
Implications of
We need
those
to
things.
understand all of these things.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't think it's fair on these people. Look at how many lives might be lost. Look at how many, how much is the value of properties that have been lost. The disruption to their day-to-day life and everything. Their properties that have been destroyed, all because you are doing something good.
Good.
But
It's not
immediate
working.
effects are not good.
It's not good.
They should have factored this in
Before starting these things. And before we also go, the Kwara State Governor has also seeking for the early dredging of the Asa River, which is also supposed to mitigate against flooding in Kwara State.
Well, for me, I think government